Well, hello guys. Hello guys. Mr. Shockwave King is back here once again. And you saw the title of the video. I'm gonna try to keep this a short video, and also the EPO content will return. I'm just getting back to the floor thing, but I gotta get this off my supposed chest. I just went on a personal rant around my own house. Some people have to keep on making videos about look how manga sales are beating comic book sales. Oh look, they lose, and look at that. It doesn't matter. Like no one gives a shit. There's only two people who cares. Those delusional weebs who got no common sense, and those comic pros who keep trying to show like publishers like Marvel and DC what happens when you don't produce the content people don't want. I can't sit here and act like the Japanese are doing hot fire when they're going against opposition who don't even give a shit about winning. Seriously, it's a known fact since what, like 2015, 2017, 2016, that they've only been producing content in Marvel and DC to fit and find a specific audience. And arguably it's produce the same retarded propaganda they've been pushing for ages now. For at least half a decade plus. But we're going to act like it's amazing that manga is winning and anime is winning, when the opposition that don't longer cares about its own fan base in America and just trying to produce, just trying to push their own media with their own opinion and politics. Are you serious? We won't act like the Japanese are just doing hot fire because of that. When did going against somebody who's not fighting back mean you're winning? When did that make you a badass? When did that make you a savage? When did this happen? Maybe this is what happens. You build a machine with new technology using old blueprints. Maybe this is what happened. Cause it's like there's a disconnect. There's a divide. Cause I'm not built like some of you. I don't know what's wrong with some of you. I don't know what type of condition you have. You're not mentally ill. You're not special needs. I don't know what's wrong with you to get you to think like they're just doing hot fire when the opposition they're going against is not even trying to win. I'm sorry, I don't know if you've heard, but newsflash, the only thing that American publishers, for the comic books and manga, care about these days is a Netflix or movie TV deal, or to push their politics. That's it. When it refers to Marvel and DC. And on top of that, independent American comics isn't even mainstream. So on top of that, no one gives a shit. Ever since the second anime craze, what, in 2012, 2013, how many people stopped reading the comic books even before they got bad? Somehow they dominated. Are you serious? On what planet? And it's sad because if it was on normal circumstances, where it was like a legitimate win, they actually were the better one, I'll be giving them all the props. But when that's not the case, then what is all this excitement about? Going against opposition who's not trying to fight back. What is all this excitement about going against somebody who's just trying to get a Netflix deal or something along the line? You've seen what just happened with Invincible. Invincible came out in the early 2000s and no one gave a shit until the animation came out. And then everybody would act like, I give a shit about Invincible. You never fucking did. We make it a sad principle with anime or manga where no one gives a shit about your damn product unless somebody's unless it's got an anime to it, which is sad. It's a very sad reality. But no one talks about that shit. We just act like we was there since day one, man. We know everything, and it's sad because I will give the Japanese and manga authors and animation teams all their props if it was under normal circumstances. If it was like 2010, 2008. I'd be like, yeah, they're just dominating. They're just annihilating. It's sad. This is just sad. Can you at least make it a fight? This is tragic. But the fact that they're intentionally losing, the fact that they're intentionally sabotaging their own product on purpose, and then we're going to act like they're not doing this on purpose, and then we're going to act like these sale numbers actually matter. Tell me, when you can find an anime movie that can crack 1 billion with each movie, like the MCU, then you can talk to me. Then you can talk that shit. Then you can say this and that. Until then, I'm not trying to hear a damn thing. Because you're not proving anything. Because you want to go by some real numbers. Let's go by the movies what they care about. Especially with Marvel. They switched over to movies since 2008. Even before that, they were still dominating the movie market. With Blade, Spider-Man, everything like that. Which Spider-Man is one of the most popular characters on the planet. And that was before the MCU. So name a character like that. Could Dragon Ball have hit those numbers? Demon Slayers have hit those numbers. So what you mean that they're dominating? They're dominating in what? Against opposition who is intentionally losing and put their focus in a different division. When you can talk about your movies, then I can say, all right, you won this one. You're pretty good. When you go against comic books, what they're intentionally losing, they don't give a shit about that comic division, which on multiple times DC might just end up selling theirs, and Marvel MCU films are keeping their Marvel comics alive, which is the only reason they're still functioning at this point, since none of their books make any money. So what do you mean I should sit here and act like I should throw some grand parade against a person going against opposition who's not even trying to fight back? They're just not. And everybody want to make the videos and act like they're just tearing it up. Like they're just pulling out some stuff we haven't seen before, man. The Japanese making a comeback, and it just on what planet? I'll be the first one to sit here and say, really, you won? All right, you gotta get your props. Nothing else. Because unlike most people, I don't care about the whole national feud or anything like that, or some country trying to prove they're better. I like to annihilate all opposition, whether you're American or not. So when it refers to blind, retarded nationalism, but we're just referring to like, oh, we're just comparing sales. Like I said before, there's only two people who care: delusional weebs who stop reading comic books because they never read comic books in the first place, and people who used to read comic books in general who trying to show the American publishers like Image Comics, DC, and Marvel what happens when you produce content for people who produce the content people wants to see. Those are the only two people who give a shit. That's it. And those delusional Twitter idiots who don't even know what they're talking about. So, what are we getting excited over? What is all this excitement about? That they're beating competition, which is honestly the most disrespectful thing. Where someone says you're winning, you're destroying them, but he's not fighting back. What the fuck you talking about? Because it's been a known fact. Even look at the current state. Invisible, The Boys, Jupiter's Legacy. I think it's like Jupiter's Legacy or Ascending. The MCU, the Zack Snyder cut. All these recent films and properties have been based purely. The Walking Dead. Like how many The Walking Dead, The Umbrella Academy. We can be here for days talking about the intellectual properties that just came out of comic books that made mainstream TV movies or just shows in general. Gonna talk about that? Huh? Gonna talk about that? No, nobody's gonna talk about that. Alright. We're just gonna play bias and favoritism. Alright then. We're gonna play that game. Alright then. Cause I wasn't gonna sit here and say, manga and anime, you got this one. You're beating the Americans. Alright, keep doing your thing. Let's see how this war turn out. Let's see who's gonna be the winner of it all. And you can play your proper props. And you give people their proper credit. But this is, you can't give somebody proper credit when they're going against opposition who's not even trying to fight back at all. At all. It's like saying, look how you just beat up that kid who's just sitting there, just not fighting back, but he's not doing anything. There's no real satisfaction from beating up on a kid who don't even fight back. That's not fun. That's not fun at all. Maybe that's just me. But this is gonna be a short video nonetheless. It was not gonna be anything serious. Hopefully the chapter drops, and after that I can go back to dropping some regular Hatsune Ippo discussion videos. Hopefully some no more Heroes news drop, and yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not much else to talk about really, besides from that, because the only people who defend this opinion are those people who don't read comic books unless it's a movie, which is those are the same people who want to talk about these fucking numbers, but break their neck to go see an MCU film, even though those movies that turned mediocre a long time ago. Oh, I want look at Thanos. Look at all this stuff. Look at that. Look at their Infinity Gems, what they're called, gems, not stones. What happened to all that shit? Y'all wasn't saying all this shit when Endgame was coming out. What happened? What happened? I'm confused. I don't see what's changed. Cause there's only two people talking about this shit. And nobody was. Let's say Marvel has been losing in sales for a while now. So what the fuck you mean you want to talk about how anime and manga is dominating comic books? They've been doing this shit for half a decade now. But now you're gonna act like you give a damn? What's wrong with you niggas? Like what type of disease do you people have? Like, I don't want your illness. I don't know what you got. You got some lethal stuff right there. But gotta help the video. I doubt I was able to get my point across properly. But my whole thing is, don't come to me when you're talking about like people beating opposition who's not even trying to fight back. That doesn't make any sense. That literally doesn't make any sense. There's no real beef. We're just talking about some friendly competition. And when one side of competition don't even care about producing a good product and just trying to release politics, which most people on YouTube these days who got into politics and start reviewing these SJW comic books built their entire channels off of. Am I ever going to forget that? Alright then. Say whatever you want. Say whatever you want for that. We're not going to bring up the movie department. We're not going to bring up how Marvel and DC is losing on purpose to push a message. We're not going to talk about those things. We're just going to act like one side is winning. But as soon as the MCU or DC produce a movie, we're going to break our necks to watch it for no reason. Alright then. Alright then. I don't see why. Which should add more credence to the point where they don't cover about the comic books. And DC considered selling the division multiple times. On which the Marvel side has gotten so poor, some of the individual titles are just produced by IDW now. Which should add more credence to why they don't give a shit. Why do you think the MCU fans' main thing is? I want to see him in the MCU. So you don't want to see him in the game? Nope. A TV show? Nope. In the MCU, for they can show up for one time and get killed in their own movie. Or just ask what happened to Emil Blonsky. It's not like, you know, he's still alive. And also, the Maestro series is the perfect example of why comic books are losing. It's a perfect example where the opposition is just trash. It's just garbage. It's fucking sad. Because what's the point of revealing the Abomination is still alive? It's going to turn into a tangent about something. I'll quickly talk about the whole Maestro things. We wasted 4 issues. And then you give me a lie and say we got a full part Maestro. We don't. I realized a recent revelation. Not everybody who's the original creator should come back. Like Akira Toriyama. Look what he's doing with Super. Trash. I don't care what anybody says. It's garbage. Or in this case, Peter David made Maestro, and now he's killing Maestro. War and Patch was garbage. The initial miniseries was garbage. And now you just left on a cliffhanger for another fucking miniseries. Why don't you just give Maestro his own series? Can you not afford anything else? Or you just go on sale by sale? And then the story just became garbage. He's always weak. He's always getting his ass whooped by somebody who's over here struggling with Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom! With no type of mass technology, there's no Destroyer Doom suit or nothing. It's just, like, it's Dr. Doom. Are you serious? And hey, look, Emil Blonsky's alive the entire time. Are you serious? Like, serious, Peter David? You gonna do this to your own character? Fucking mutilate your own. How do you mutilate your own character? How did this shit happen? It is what it is with that. It really is. I'm not gonna keep harking on this or talking about something where it's just people who are making videos about it obviously don't care about the facts or anything like that. At least some people are doing actual reporting, where they're actually reporting what's going on, and it show this is what happens when you produce content somebody wants. But those delusional weebs act like Japan is doing hop shit. You might need to go get your mind checked. And I believe, by the words of Vince McMahon, I believe we are sick of having your intelligence insulted. But it is what it is on that front. But I've been checking, like, comment, subscribe, and the EPO content will return. It will return. I also might have to make an Ali Jr. simp video, because somehow Ali Jr. was a simp when the only reason he wanted to get codes away was just to get under Barky's skin. Somehow Ali Jr. was a simp, even though he didn't care about codes away before that. Alright, thank you for being Shower King, and like, comment, subscribe, and peace.